Hello everyone and welcome back guys to AOR. Finally, yes, we are back with some Apex Online Racing on the channel. You know, it's been a very long time since we had any AOR. I think obviously the last AOR League Racing I did would have been Season 14, so that ended in about March, April last year. So it's been quite a while since we've had some AOR on the channel. But we're back, finally. I'm fresh, I'm ready for Season 16, and quite looking forward to this one on the whole. But obviously today we do start with my evaluation race, and as you could probably guess by the title, or well, whatever I've called it, it wasn't my finest showing in the world. Now currently in the background we're on my fastest qualifying lap. Not a particularly good lap, I'm just going to say that now. I didn't really get much practice in for this. Unfortunately, I was watching the CSGO Major, as well as I've been out sort of during the day and things like that. So I didn't really get much chance to practice for this, as well as the fact, you know, I've been focusing on a few other different sims and things over recent weeks. You know, I had the race room, I had a couple of those esports comps, and a few little things like that over recent weeks, which hasn't mean, you know, I've had the best chance to really sort of focus my efforts on competitive F1. But over the next few weeks, I will certainly be trying to up the ante on the Formula 1 games once more here. So trying to sort of reprogram in the muscle memory and all things like that has been a little bit difficult, you know, trying to get used to. But I think for a first race, overall it didn't go too badly, but on the face of it, it did. But overall, when you actually sort of look behind the scenes, it sort of actually didn't go too badly, in my personal opinion. You know, there's definitely a whole lot more pace to find. You know, this qualifying lap's a good example of that. Just I don't know, I think not enough confidence, where obviously, as I said, I wasn't quite used to the car again, so just struggling to get up to pace. But overall, it's been, you know, an okay lap, I guess. You know, it hasn't been anything to write home about, but it hasn't been anything too terrible either. Through the final corner, there was easily, you know, sort of a good 4 or 5 tenths of a second anyway on this lap, but down towards the line, it is going to be a 1 minute 26.9, which, yeah, I'll take that for what is one of my first ever sort of flying laps around Bahrain in that sense. As well, for this one, unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to focus on the results because A, it's sort of relevant, and B, I was coordinator for this one, so I'm just having to try and go through and get all sort of like the race director stuff for all of those people that do end up forgetting to record all their stuff. So that's sort of what's going on in the background, unfortunately, you know, when it turns in terms of the race and things like that. That'll be why I don't really sort of focus on the results screen. I sort of focus on everyone's race director on the whole, as well as a little bit of an apology from me. I accidentally left my face cam in as well. I'm sure you guys would have probably worked out by now. Now, obviously, depends on what split I end up in or anything like that. You know, it'll be whether I sort of get rid of it or not. But yeah, no, I'll leave it in today. Well, I'm going to struggle to take it out today. It's already hard baked into the footage. So, yeah, I'm going to struggle to do that any other way there. But yeah, in terms of qualifying then, I think we ended up down in P5. As I said, not a particularly good lap. We definitely could have got P2. ZLCX4, I think, does run line. Well, if he, yeah, I'm pretty certain he does. You know, he's been that sort of pace with line, but in races that I've done with him in the past, he's really been nowhere with no line. So that's sort of, yeah, his pace as well. But getting into a 1 minute 25, very good lap by him there. But yeah, we'll take P5 on the grid. As I said, the aim is just have a nice, clean race. In terms of strategy, I'm not really too sure what to go with, so we'll sort of just try and take the tyres as far as possible and then just see where we end up in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Then obviously a 50% race, damage is turned off, safety car is off, weather is clear, all that sort of good stuff to make sure everyone has a completely equal race in that regard and all things like that. But here we are then, lining up on the grid, ready for my first AOR race in about 6 months here. Really quite looking forward to this, you know, really quite looking forward to the season on the whole. You know, all the new ERS modes and things like that really do mean we could see some very exciting racing on the whole though. But lined up on the grid, ready for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's ready. The lights are coming on. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights here for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Charlie Whiting wasting no time whatsoever to get this race underway. An absolutely abysmal start by myself there. They're almost going to be 4 wide going into T1 behind me. We're going to try and break nice and late swoop to the outside of the 2 cars ahead of me there, so we don't end up getting dive bombed by a couple of the guys behind. Hartley making a little bit of a mistake through the first couple of corners, as well as me. We both lose the way around ever so slightly, but we're going to try and have a sniff up the inside. No, we don't. He runs into the back of Joker there, which means we are, well, it's going to be a much easier move up the inside for me. Now up into P4 of the Grand Prix off the start there. Joker runs a little bit wide. He could not get the car slowed down, could not get that front inside tyre rotated enough, but he almost goes up the inside of Clay's down at the hairpin there. So we're going to try and get better traction on the exit of the corner here. We're not going to really be able to have a look up into lock-up corner here, although, yeah, he proves why it's called lock-up corner as we come through there. On the exit, though, still all over the back of the Renault car just ahead of me here, and hopefully, you know, we should be able to get past him quite soon in this race to the end of lap 1. You can see ZL is running a very, very good opening lap of this Grand Prix. Joker's going to go a little bit defensive on myself, trying to use the overtake ERS mode there. He's going to brake very, very late down in towards turn 1 there, run into the side of Clay's. We're just going to use the opportunity to swoop right around his outside there, and now up into P3 of the Grand Prix here. So I will certainly take that off at the start there. Now all over the back of Clay's. He broke very, very sort of weirdly into turn 3 there, sort of got the car slowed down and sort of chucked it really aggressively in. So yeah, I think we'll sort of, the less thought about that, the better there. It's still obviously purple as it is a lap 2. They're nearly running to the back of Clay's. They're very, very early on the brakes in towards the hairpin there, and hopefully on the exit we can try to capitalise there. Onto the end though of lap 3, we were all over the back of him now. Use the hot lap mode and then switch it back down into overtake once you do get up into 7th gear there. 1 minute 31.5 second lap of the Grand Prix. Down the inside of Clay's we go there. Brake just for the 100 meter board there, and we will get the car slowed down. On the apex, we'll try to have a look back to the outside on the exit there, but he's not going to be able to make that work. And we will now move up into P2 of the Grand Prix there. Clay's tries to have a think about going for a sniff around the outside at the top of the hill, but obviously we're not going to be able to give him that opportunity there. On to lap 5 though, and you know, I was really starting to settle in to quite a good little rhythm here at this stage of the Grand Prix. You know, the tyres were feeling good, the car was feeling good, and we've been really, really just trying to settle in, get some good pace in the car, you know, gather a bit of momentum. Running quite a lot of rich fuel, which wasn't really helping me out. I don't know why I still do this in all honesty, but yeah, I was running it in rich for a lot, which meant I had quite a lot of fuel on board, which is quite dragging my times down just a bit. They're coming through the S section, as you can see. We're running it way over those curves there. Break down into the hairpin, and well, honestly, I don't think I've ever had that before in F1 2018. It felt entirely like I just locked the rear brakes somehow, which is obviously, for those of you that watch Formula 1, would know that's very, very rare there. So yeah, not really too sure what I make of that. I'm not too sure whether it was the fact I went over the death curb on the exit of the S's, and well, it just sort of, the back end of the car was sort of bobbling as we came in towards the final couple of corners there. But that unfortunately meant, well, the rear tyres decided they turn on fire there. Unfortunately, get tagged by Clay's as I lose the back end ever so slightly out of the final corner there. Nothing he could do about that, you know. Apologies from me for obviously getting in his way with that, but yeah, nothing I could really do with that either. You know, I dropped the back end ever so slightly. I was going to be able to get it back round, I do feel, but yeah, unfortunately, Clay's would tag around. You can see the tyres on a nice, wonderful 110 degrees after that, so it really does go to show if you get any sort of loss of traction, you basically just have to pit on the end of that lap there. So yeah, now we're basically just going to have to try and come back through the field quite a bit. As I said, you know, roughly I reckon we could have easily taken those tyres in a sort of good 3-4 extra laps, obviously without that sort of weird rear locking there, so yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about that one. But over the next few laps, obviously people would be making their first pit stop. You know, a lot of guys trying to go for the 1 stop, some guys going for the 2 stop here. We jump back out ahead of LC Speed Demon there, and we'd be now on the back of Humperdinck here. We were used to actually race with there. Sauber going very, very slowly on the apex. We almost cut him off, but we do get right around his outside there. But yeah, Humperdinck, as I said, raced with him back on, I think it was F1 2016 in a couple of leagues there, and he's on a quicker compound of tyres than myself. But we were still matching him in terms of pace here, as you see coming out now in towards Sector 2 once more here through the S16. There's quite a few cars fighting just up ahead of me there, but unfortunately, yeah, we'd hit the death curb a lot worse that time, and yeah, find ourselves in the wall with semi-shredded tyres there. It certainly hasn't helped our case out. You know, I don't think the tyres are particularly overheat too badly from that one, but it certainly knocked us, you know, sort of a good couple of laps out of the tyre life there, which, you know, wasn't really ideal for myself. On to lap 11 though, all over the back of the Force India of Solid Oof, who I don't think had actually made his first pit stop just yet in the Grand Prix. All over the back of the Force India as we now come out onto the back straight, and he's not really going to try and do anything to fight that one. He's going to back out very, very early down the back straight even, but we will now move up back into P12 of the Grand Prix. They're now all over the back of LC Speed Demon, obviously an AOR veteran who's been around for a very, very long time. That's not going to stop us. We're going to try and look out the inside. We're going to make up a couple of places there. There's a couple of guys now diving into the pit lane there. Speed Demon is going to try and swing it around the outside there. A very, very good move by him. I certainly wasn't, going to try and just completely square him off there, but he does get up the inside once more. We've got a couple of cars spun though. Humperdinck and Adam Lee both with issues there. Speed Demon's going to go to the outside. I'm going to go to the inside. We're always going to Mika Hakkinen spar 90. I think it was 99 him there, and we do now move up into P7 of the Grand Prix there. I'll certainly take that cheeky little overtake up the inside there, and as I said, back up now into P7. They almost get killed by the Death Curb once more, but get lucky that time there. And 16 laps to go now of the Grand Prix. We've really just got to try and resettle back into a rhythm there. By the end though of lap 20, and these tyres were, I wouldn't say they were completely toast, but I didn't want to get into the same stage as I had the compound before there. So we will be coming in to the pits on the end of a lap 20 here. It's going to be a tall order to try and get these super soft tyres right the way through to the end, but we're going to try and make it work on the whole there. We will get jumped by a couple of cars. I think we're going to come out sort of about P6, P7, but we should be in about a net P6, I think, in this Grand Prix. Make sure we do get nicely out of the pits, as always, getting a nice, fairly clean, quick pit stop here. Clay's fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1 minute 29.8, very, very good lap by him. He's going to be out just ahead of me there, but we're just going to go ahead of Speed Demon there. Tried not to completely destroy the rear tyres, exiting the pit lane there. But onto the end though of lap 22, we would set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1 minute 28.6. I would certainly take that. No idea why Jeff's telling me I need to pit once more in this Grand Prix, but we'll certainly gloss over that. Onto lap 24 though, you can see we're making big inroads out of Thrustmaster and TSRL plays on this lap here. Without all these sort of weird incidents and mistakes, we could have easily been a good sort of extra 10 seconds up the road there. The Sauber going very, very slow on the exit of the hairpin. Not really too sure what he's doing, trying to squeeze everyone there. I think he turned into Chuk at one point. But yeah, Chuk on a very worn set of the medium compound tyres here. We're going to be all over the back, and just look at the extra traction we're going to be able to get. We go to the outside. Chuk actually drops it on the curb on the inside there, and we weren't actually trying to go for any sort of move there, so I can only apologise to him if I sort of pressured him into that one there. But yeah, we would now be back up into P5 on the end though of lap 28, and well, unfortunately it was the same story once more here. The tyres would just get completely worn out by the end of the Grand Prix, and as I said, if we hadn't had all those issues, these would have easily made it to the end. I'm sure without all the issues, we probably would have come through for P4 and best of the two stoppers here. But yeah, unfortunately, it was basically driving on 2 punctures by the end of the Grand Prix there as we come through the final couple of corners. We're actually going to drop all the way down to, I think, P9 by the end of the Grand Prix there. So yeah, on the face of it, not really a race to remember on the whole. As I said, P9 doesn't really look good, but when you sort of look at the inner mechanics behind it, that sort of rear brake weird sort of thing that happened certainly didn't help my case, as well as that sort of death curb completely ruined my chance of, being able to comfortably make this 2-stop work by the end. So it's only going to be P9 at the end of the race there. So yeah, not really the race I wanted on the whole. Let's we'll talk whilst we sort of get through all the race director stuff at the end of the race there. But yeah, ZL will be able to take home the win ahead of Smith and there with Hartley in P3. As I said, P4 was where I really feel, we could have come on the 2-stop. We definitely could have been fastest of the 2-stop there. But Clays did a very good job there, able to keep the tyres in a good nick ahead of LC Speed Demon down in P5 there by the end of the Grand Prix. Yeah, as I said, not the race really to remember, but I really do feel, that race gave me a lot extra confidence in terms of sort of muscle memory again on this game. So really, really looking forward to the opening round of the season, no matter what split I do end up in here. Obviously, hoping, I am in quite a high split, generally speaking. It does take me a couple of weeks to sort of get back into the groove of F1, so obviously, hopefully, they'll sort of understand that and put me in a little bit higher, because, well, every season so far of AOR F1 I've ended up winning anyway, winning a race, sorry, anyway, at some point during the season. But yeah, I'd rank up to level 23 as well, but it's going to be ZL ahead of Smithson, ahead of Hartley, TSR Clays, LC Speed Demon, Adam Lee, Iron Weasel, Chuk, myself, Joker, something Nosy, and then a couple of other people down the rest of the order there. We're just going to sort of run through the race director as well, though, so I'll make sure I get that recorded in case anyone has forgot their own there. But yeah, as I said, hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new around here as well and you do want to see more AOR F1 2018 content, make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, turn the bell notification icon on as well, because obviously everyone knows what YouTube sub boxes are bloody like these days. But But yeah, as well, if you're interested in seeing sort of more league racing from myself, I've got a channel at the moment, Matt212, sort of, I think it's called Extras at the moment, where basically I upload sort of full league race streams. I'm tempted, you know, if I do sort of any other leagues, I'm going to be uploading highlights from those as well onto that channel, as well as some Gran Turismo Sport for those of you guys that are interested. That's sort of dotted around my channel here and there, as well as hopefully this week I'm going to be starting up a new channel on Forza Horizon. So yeah, make sure you do like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys next time for the Australian Grand Prix.